Hello and welcome to another update on the Sherwood real estate market. My name is Steve Thoele. I'm a principal broker with Premier Property Group. And this update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity ending this past Sunday, March 17th. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the info with you. So first off, looking at active listings. This last week, we had 13 new properties come on the market in Sherwood, up a few from a week prior. And in terms of the total number of listings, you can kind of see we had a high of 75 here 7 weeks back, got down to a low of 60 here 4 weeks ago, and has been rising the past 3 weeks, hitting a level of 71 as of this last Sunday. Median list price and days on market for those actives, you can kind of see we bottomed out here on list price at 700,000 here earlier in the period. That got up to the kind of the higher 70s. 775 was the high. It's dropped back a little bit since then, down to 760,000 as of this last week for the median price of the most recent 71 homes on the market. And then days on market, you can kind of see we've touched, we had a high of 46 and we've had a low of 30 on a couple of occasions. One earlier on this last week got back down to 60, back down to 30 as well. So just about a month of average market time for the homes on the market right now. Okay, moving along to pending sales. This last week, I showed we had 9 properties cross over from active to over to pending, up from the prior week where we had 5. And then in terms of total pendings, you can kind of see we had a high of 56 pendings here about 6 weeks ago. That got down to a low of 43 about 3 weeks back. And then the last couple of weeks, we have been kind of on the rise again, getting back up to 52 pendings as of this last week. And the median price and days on market for the pendings kind of been on the rise. I had a low of 623. And we've gotten close to 700,000 over this past few weeks here. So 695 was the median price for these most recent 52 properties in pending status. Days on market, you can kind of see we started off at 70, got up to a high of 81, and then the very next week just dropped way down to 44 days of average market time. And the last couple of weeks it has been kind of rising again. So 63 days of average market time for these most recent 52 homes that are pending. And then last, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put this together, pretty slow week last week for closings. Actually, the last couple of weeks been pretty slow. So we had 2 closings last week went from pending to sold status. And that's about the same as we had a week before. We only had 3. So been pretty slow a couple of weeks in terms of actual closings. And then we look back over the prior 4 weeks of sales on a week-by-week basis. You can kind of see what's happened with that. So we had a low of 15. That rose, got clear up to 29. And then last couple of weeks, that has dipped back down because of the lower sales here. The last couple of weeks down to 20 sales over the prior 4 weeks. The median sold price and days on market for the sold listings, you can kind of see we kind of topped out at 700,000 about 6 weeks back, and it has been dropping from there. Last couple of weeks has been kind of in the 560s, 564,000 the most recent reading. And then days on market, that's been on the kind of the upswing after hitting a low of 26 days of market time here about 5 weeks back. We've been in the 80s here for the past couple of weeks, so 80 days of average market time for these most recent 20 sales. And then last thing we'll look at as far as data goes is weeks of inventory, and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. Red bar is the weeks of inventory, which is a kind of a really good barometer of supply and demand levels. So you can kind of see we had a high of just under 19 weeks of inventory here about 7 weeks back. And then as we had more sales, that inventory number really kind of dropped quite dramatically down to a little below 9 weeks of inventory. And then with the lower number of closings over the past few weeks, this has kind of started to rise again. So end of this last week, I did about 14 weeks of inventory right now in Sherwood, which is about 3.5 months or so, on a real basis. So, and then sale price percent of the original list price, you can kind of see we got up to a high of just about 97% of asking price here 5 weeks back. And then we've been kind of in the 96% range here from there, hitting this last week came in at 96.5%. So just about a 3.5% discount is, currently what sellers have had to, or sellers have been getting for their property off of their original asking price. So, so all in all, remains to be pretty tight market, more kind of slanted towards sellers just because of the lack of inventory and, interest rate challenges, which the last thing we'll look at here is kind of an update on that. So looking at Mortgage News Daily, which is a website I use, kind of track mortgage rates, you can kind of see again, after touching 8% last fall, kind of in, kind of a late mid-November, rates kind of fell like a rock. Going into the end of the year, we got clear down to about 6.6%. So we were hopeful that things were trending in the right direction. Then, since then, since the beginning of the year, we have seen an uptick in general in rates. Got up above 7%. And then, a couple weeks ago, early part of March, we did see a nice little dip again. I got down to about 6.7% on a 30-year fixed. And then, this last week, due to a couple really kind of, hotter than anticipated inflation reports that came out, kind of drove rates back up above the 7% mark here again. So unfortunately, not the way we're hoping that it will go, but we've got what we've got, unfortunately. So anyway, that's the update for now. So hope that was helpful for you. As always, if I can answer questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. Happy to help. My number and email address are always down below these videos in the description. So don't hesitate to reach out. And as always, really appreciate any feedback on these videos. Likes, comments, shares are all appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, hit that red subscribe button before you leave, and so you can stay up to date on what's happening in your local market. So hope you have a great day and week ahead. Enjoy this beautiful weather we've had. Hope you had a great St. Patrick's Day weekend, and we will see you on the next update.